Hello, welcome to the start of this week's reading vlog. So this is week 3 of the Magical Readathon, and I have some catching up to do. So we are going to talk about, well, I'm going to talk about the books that I'm planning to read this week, and then I need to kind of come up with a game plan. I have a lot of stuff going on right now. Currently, I am sitting on our bed in the middle of my living room. We are redoing the master bedroom. Um, we're like repainting and everything, so we had to take everything out of there. And our house is very small, so our house is full of furniture and a complete mess right now. Um, so hopefully, I can get some reading done in between reorganizing my entire bedroom and painting and all this stuff. But that's not for right now. For right now, I just want to talk about the books that I'm going to read this week. And like I said, come up with a game plan. So, this is where my chart is after the first 2 weeks of the month. It's looking a little sad, so hopefully I can get a lot more reading done this week and fill in a lot more of these lines because I was feeling really good, and then I turned around and realized that it's already the 16th of the month today. It's the 16th today, and I have finished one of my books for the readathon so far. So, the plan this week is clearly we're going to do some short books. So, we're going to do Remote Control. I'm going to read this. This is going to be very quick. I actually got the audiobook of this from the library, and it's a 4-hour audiobook. I listen at 1.75 speed, so it'll probably take, 2.5 hours. Math. It should only take a couple hours to finish. So this one will be done, and this is for restoration. This was the close your eyes and point prompt. Then I'm going to keep trucking along on the Spanish love deception. If you watched last week's vlog, you'll know I'm not really jiving with this so far. I think our main character, Lena, is kind of whiny and creating her own issues with the guy who's the main character. Like, he doesn't really seem to be making that much of a fuss with her, but she's just like, we hate each other. And he's just like, oh, okay. So that's that. The other one for the actual prompts for the readathon is save the date, so I do want to get a start on this as well. We'll see. I'm going to try to put in some really good reading time this week, but again, like I said, bed in the middle of the living room, like, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so before I start that, I have to finish this. So I guess these are my main two things for the week. I'm going to listen to Remote Control on audio, keep reading the Spanish Love Deception in paperback, and then that should be good for the readathon. My quest for the first part of the quest, I'm using Stay Awake by Megan Golden. I also have an audiobook for this, so when I finish the audiobook for Remote Control, I will probably switch over to the audiobook for that. And that's it for the readathon. Those are the plans. That's a hefty amount of reading for me considering how the first 2 weeks of the month went. But we're going to try. We're going to try to stay on top of it. I'm going to try to put in some real good reading time, like solid reading time every day. And hopefully we can get that done. And then, I mean, not done. I don't have to finish everything this week, but at least make good progress. And then the only other thing that I am currently working on is Parable of the Sower. This I have the audiobook for, but I'm kind of like immersion listening, like I'm reading and listening. So, yeah, this will be, if I need to break up some of those, I will pick this up. This is for my TBR game, TBR Bakery. I picked this for a book I know nothing about, and reading it, I said this in the last vlog, but reading this, I'm like, yeah, I really knew absolutely nothing about this book. Basically with this, we're following our main character, Lauren, through like a series of journal entries in this futuristic, but it takes place, like, this book starts in 2024, but it was written, I think, in like the 90s, right? So that would have been very futuristic back then. Well, not very futuristic, but fairly futuristic. So yeah, it would have been fairly futuristic for back then. But this book is kind of terrifying because this is a world that is just like in shambles, and it's very easy to picture our world getting to this position. If you hear something in the background, my husband is doing his run on the treadmill downstairs and he just put on music. But this reminds me of, like, reading this reminds me of the way I felt when I read Dry by Neil Shusterman, where California is in like a severe drought and people just lose their minds. This is kind of giving me the same feeling as that. It's something that seems on the surface very like dramatic and like drastic and like whatever, but then if you think about it, you're like, our world could definitely get there very easily. Like one wrong move and we're in this. So yeah, she basically the main character Lauren lives in California and she lives on a cul-de-sac, but the neighborhoods all have like these big tall walls around them, and basically like the other neighborhoods are your enemies and people are like stealing from each other, and like murder is like a normal thing because if you like there's a shortage on water and electricity and everything, so like if somebody tries to steal your resources, you kill them. So that's where I am in this book right now. Again, that's not for the readathon, but it's just something that I'm reading to kind of break up some of the readathon books. Like I picked it up because I was not having a great time with the Spanish Love Deception, but that's okay. My book, I can't just read one thing and it's getting really bad. Like, I don't want to call it ADHD, but I think it is. But I'm reading a bunch of different stuff for different reasons in different formats, and I'm starting to get overwhelmed. So I need to stop that before I end up in a reading slump. So this week I'm just going to try to focus on, despite everything that I just said about reading a bunch of different books, I'm going to try to focus on finishing the ones that I already have started before I pick up the other ones. But again, hopefully I can get a lot of reading done this week, along with the bedroom kind of reno type thing. I'll actually insert some clips. We've like sanded the walls and kind of like speckled, like filled in some of the holes and stuff, but it's looking a hot mess right now, and hopefully we can finish it pretty soon because there's just stuff everywhere. There's stuff everywhere, and our house is not big, so it's kind of tough to move around everything. So in between the reading, we will be working on the bedroom and living life, and hopefully I will get some good clips for you guys this week. Good morning. Same clothes, different day. Today is Tuesday, and I have some work to do in the bedroom. I need to... So yesterday, my husband was off from work, and he primed the whole room, but then we had some bubbling issues, and we like figured out that we missed a couple spots when we were spackling and like filling in holes and stuff. So I'm going to throw on the audiobook for Parable of the Sower. I have my headphones here, so I'm going to listen to the audiobook for that while I do some more spackling. I don't know if that is like interesting content, but I will take you guys along, show you what I'm up to in there, and hopefully get pretty close to, well, I can't say pretty close to finishing this book. I'm 48% through right now. I'm on page, I think, like 164 in the physical book, so I won't finish it. Obviously, that's still like 6 hours of audio. Well, like 4, but hopefully I can get through a decent amount of it today. And then I have training later. I want to sit down and read some of the Spanish Love Deception later. And then I'll probably go back to this while I sand the spots that I patch. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Like I said, I'll take you guys along, and we'll see how much reading I can do today. So I finished the patching in the room and I ran some errands and stuff, and I finished Parable of the Sower. I wasn't sure I would today because I was only like halfway through, but I finished it. I was listening to the audio at 1.75, and then I actually started just like reading along as I was listening, and I bumped it up to 2.5. So I finished it. I don't know how I feel about it. It might be like a 3 star for me. I don't know. It was very kind of dreary and like depressing, but it was interesting at the same time, and I am kind of curious as to like where the story goes from here. So I might pick up, what's it called? Parable of the Talents, I think. Um, at some point, but I mean, obviously not right now. But that's another book finished for my TBR Bakery TBR. And the next book that I am going to pick up is Remote Control. Again, I also have the audio for this. I might do the same kind of like immersion reading and listening at the same time. We'll see about that. I don't know if I'm going to start this today. It depends on if I have more stuff to do. Like if I can start sanding in that room, I might throw on this audiobook and do that. But right now I have to get ready for my training session, and then it's going to be time for lunch. And yeah, that's where I'm at for now. But yeah, I just wanted to check in and let you know that I finished a book. That's exciting. I think this is the first book I've finished this week. Yeah, this is pretty much the only thing I've read all week so far. It's only Tuesday. I'm talking like it's already the end of the week. But yeah, so for it being Tuesday, I've already finished a book this week, and I'm happy with that. So, yay. So I just wanted to do a quick check-in and let you know I finished Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor. This was for my restoration course. This was the like pick a bunch of books, close your eyes, shuffle, and point. I got this one and it was good. It's super short. It's only 159 pages. And at the end of it, I feel like I need more information. Like I enjoyed it, but like you can only do so much with 159 pages. And I feel like at the end, like we got to the end, and like even in the last couple of pages, I was like, but I want more information about this. Like I feel like this could be fleshed out more. Um and I don't know if that's maybe like the point. Like if she keeps it short for that reason, like come to your own conclusions, whatever. But yeah, I would have liked more. I did enjoy it though. It was a good book. I think I liked Noor a little bit better than this one, but I did like it. And like I said, it was a really quick read. So that was good too, especially since I need to make some quick progress. It is now Thursday, April 20th. So yeah, I need to make more progress quickly. So this was a good one to knock out. And I am currently, well, it's paused, but I have the ambiance ASMR room going in the background. And I have a little bit more time before work, so I am going to read some of the Spanish Love Deception. I'm about 100 pages in now. I feel like we're getting somewhere, but I still feel like the conflict between the two characters is very contrived. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to keep reading this. And yeah, I just wanted to check in to say I'm super excited that I finished another book, even though it was super short. But yeah, okay, that's it for now. And yeah, that's it. Actually, I lied. I'm still here. I just realized I should probably tell you a little bit of something about this book. In this book, we're following Sankofa, who is the adopted daughter of Death, and she glows this green light, and when she glows, she has the ability to kill. Um, but obviously, she doesn't want to, and she can't really control it very well. And when she was a child, something was taken from her. Like she felt like it was her, like it was the seed from a tree, like a shea butter or a shea tree. And her apparently it was worth money or something, so her father sold it and then it got stolen from the person that he sold it to. So something happens and then she ends up on this kind of quest to find this seed, and we go from there. We don't know exactly why she has this power, or like there was an event that like started it, but we don't really know like why her, how it happened. Um and you that's what I meant by like, oh, I wish I had more information. We kind of get a glimpse into what's going on at the very end of the book, but until then, I feel like you're just a little confused. Um, with this book, I kind of felt like I was just along for the ride without really knowing what was happening. But at the same time, in a 159-page book, like you don't have to wait long. Whereas in like, this is kind of random, but like when I read or when I tried to read Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson, I got halfway through the book and I was still lost. And like I was like 400 pages in and I was still lost. Whereas if you're only lost for 150 pages, it's not that bad. Like you don't feel like you're wasting your time. But the whole book, I felt like I was just kind of along for the ride without really knowing what was going on. Um, but I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, I did enjoy it and it's not too long to be confused. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I just wish that at the end of the day, or at the end of the book, I guess, I had gotten a little bit more information. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good read. I would recommend it if you like, or if you're in the market for just like a short, quick sci-fi. Whoa, I almost threw it off the thing. I would say give it a try. I enjoyed it. Okay, so I'm 148 pages into the Spanish Love Deception now, and I think I have pinpointed one of the irritations that I have with this book. I'm gonna go into like maybe a little bit of spoiler right now. So if you don't want spoilers for this book, if you plan to read it or whatever, I'll put a timestamp on screen so you know when to skip ahead to. But okay, so this book is very similar to The Hating Game in terms of the fact that it is two people that work together in an office and they don't get along. The Hating Game, I feel like it probably suffered from the same thing, but I didn't notice as much because I just loved that book so much. Whereas this book, like, I got off to a rocky start with it and now it's just really kind of annoying me. At the end of chapter 9, there's this part where the main girl is like, this is why I don't know if we can be friends, why we never have been. And then the guy is just like, you're right. His voice was unspeakably flat. Being your friend has always been the last thing on my mind. And I'm just like, okay, from the beginning of this book, it's been very obvious that she's the one with the issue. And it's like in The Hating Game where you're just like, okay, so spoilers for The Hating Game too, if you haven't read that. Like all along, the main guy in that book liked her and she was just blowing things out of proportion. It's literally the exact same thing here. It's been obvious from the very beginning that he likes her. And I have a sneaking suspicion that at the end of the book, it's just going to be like, oh, I just didn't think you were ready for that kind of thing with me because you seem to dislike me so much. That kind of thing. And like I said, it was probably just as bad in The Hating Game, but I just really loved that book. My bookmark just fell out again. I just really loved that book, but for some reason this book, there's just something about it that's just not doing it as well or something, and it's just really frustrating me. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, I feel like this book has potential, so I'm just gonna keep reading, but like my progress has just been so slow with it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just like I said, it's just so obvious that he likes her. And like I read that quote just because my whole point is like being your friend has always been the last thing on my mind. It's because obviously he likes her. So it's like you're so annoying. Like you're just hearing what you want to hear and he's being too like he's being obvious, but she's being annoying and just like we can't be friends, we can't be this, we can't be that. You did one thing to me when we very first met each other and I'm just going to hate you forever even though you clearly have feelings for me. So it's just kind of annoying. Like and we just keep going back and forth with the exact same thing. Like, "Oh, we don't like each other. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Like we don't like each other. No, we hate each other even though we're totally friends and I'm totally attracted to you. We can't be friends and I can't be attracted to you." Like I don't know. I don't know. I just it's frustrating me. It's frustrating me while I read this book. But like I don't know. I almost want to be like, "Oh, I should DNF this book," but like I don't want to. Like I think I really want to like this book. So I'm going to keep trying with it even though it's probably not going to be a new favorite book or anything. So in that case like should I keep reading? But I don't know. I'm going to keep reading. I have a problem. I said I was going to be working on DNFing more books this year, and I think I've DNF'd a couple, but like I want this book to work for me. I want it to work for me, so I'm going to keep going. And hopefully it doesn't take me the rest of the month because we're already 2/3 of the way through the month and I really need to finish this book so that I can get to Save the Date, which is another physical read because those are both for classes. So if I want to pass my courses, I need to finish these books. So, is that the only reason I'm continuing with this? Maybe. Or maybe it's because I don't like DNFing books, even though I said I was going to start DNFing more books. But regardless, I'm going to keep reading it. Like I said, I'm 148 pages in. And we'll just hope it gets better, I guess. So it's Friday now, and I just thought I would check in. I'm almost halfway through, sort of almost halfway, maybe like 40% through Stay Awake by Megan Golden. And here's the issue I've been having with thrillers. I hope my car isn't too loud. It's kind of cold this morning, so I'm leaving it running so that I have heat. But I like to go into thrillers pretty blind because that's the whole point of a thriller is that you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, like, whatever. It's part of the experience for me of reading a thriller. But I'm so tired of reading thrillers with unreliable narrators. Like, that's not a good time for me. And this is yet another thriller with just an unreliable narrator. So, yeah. I don't know how to pick my thrillers because I don't want thrillers with unreliable narrators, but if I look into it enough to find out if they have unreliable narrators or not, I know too much going in. Like, I know more than I want to going into the thriller. So, I'm a little frustrated, but I mean, overall, it's not a bad book so far. Like, I'm not hating it, but I'm just tired of unreliable narrators. Like, for what it is, it's okay. Basically, we're following this woman who she wakes up on a park bench. She has no idea like what's going on. She has writing all up and down her arms, and when she tries to reach into her jacket or whatever to pick out her phone, she finds a bloody knife. Um, and then she starts seeing news clips and stuff about a guy who's been murdered. And on the window of the like apartment building that he was murdered in is like wake up written in blood, and she has wake up written all over her. So she knows she's involved somehow, and then as she tries to like get back into her life and figure out what's going on, she realizes that no one she knows is still around. Like, strangers live in her apartment, her boyfriend disappeared, her best friend disappeared, and she just like has no idea. Like, all the people she used to work with have disappeared, like they don't work there anymore. And so she's just walking around trying to figure out what's going on and how she came to be with this bloody knife. Unreliable narrators and thrillers, they're just not for me, but I just don't know how to find a thriller without reading more than I want to about it. So that's it. That's all I really had to say in this check-in. Sorry, one of my coworkers just drove by and I didn't want her to see me talking to my camera. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this check-in. That's all I wanted to say. Help. If you Okay, here we go. If you are watching this and you know of a thriller that's really good, that you love, that doesn't depend on an unreliable narrator, let me know. Like, leave a comment down below and just let me know what it is, because I really want to read a good thriller that doesn't have an unreliable narrator, because I hate that. Well, I don't hate it, but like, it's just not my thing. I'm not a huge fan. So if you know of any that fit that bill, please let me know. Hello. So welcome to week 4 of Magical Readathon. Today is actually April 25th, so I'm a couple days late starting. There's, including today, 6 days left of Magical Readathon, and I have a lot of reading to do. So I'm gonna wrap up week 3 right now, and then I'll get into week 4 because, it's been a while since I did a check-in. So this is where I'm at with my reading tracker at the end of week 3. I finished Parable of the Sower, and I read all of Remote Control. And I made a little bit of progress in The Stand-In and Spanish Love Deception, as well as Stay Awake. So Stay Awake was the book that I chose for the quest for a book with night on the cover. The shadows and stuff would indicate that there are streetlights, which means that it is nighttime. So that's why I chose this book. I don't know, that might be cheating, but that's why I did that one. And I would like to say that I finished this book already. So like I said, I read most of this last week, and then, listened to. I listened to the audiobook. And I listened to most of this last week. Oh, you know what? I did do a car check-in when I was reading this, complaining about the unreliable narrator. I remember. You guys know that I'm reading this already. So, yeah, I finished this week. I finished it yesterday. So, the first step of the quest line is done. Yay! I feel like I'm making some progress because everything else I'm kind of behind on. So I finished that, and then I had the audiobook ready to go for Queen of the Tearling. I'm 50 pages into this now. I don't really have any opinions. So far we're still just traveling back to the kingdom, with our main character, Kelsey, who is a princess, and she was taken away and put into hiding as a baby because apparently every queen of the Tearling ends up getting killed. So her mother wanted to protect her until she was old enough to take over the throne, from her uncle, who is acting as regent, and he wants to kill her so that he can keep the throne, I guess. That's as far as we've really gotten. So yeah, she's just traveling with soldiers back to the kingdom. So that's as far as I am in that. And then the Spanish Love Deception, I am officially over halfway through this. I am off from work today. I'm going to try my best to get a ton of this read today, because the other book that I have to start for Magical Readathon is Save the Date, and it is another book that I'm reading physically, and we all know I can't read 400 pages in 5 days. So, we'll see how that goes. But then, if I start that, the only book that I have left for my TBR Bakery TBR that I haven't started is Finley Donovan. But with TBR Bakery, I don't really have rules on like how much I have to read. for it to count. So I think it's probably going to be like 50 pages. Maybe more than 50, maybe like 100 pages. So that probably won't count for TBR Bakery, but that's okay. This blog is about Magical Readathon, and so I have given you the updates for Magical Readathon. Well, Queen of the Tearling isn't for Magical Readathon either, but I'm out of audiobooks for Magical Readathon, so everything else is physical reading. But yeah, so I have finished my classes for Restoration and Alchemy. I finished the first book for the quest. Spanish Love Deception is still for inscription, and then Elemental Studies is Save the Date. So I really need to at least start Save the Date. I don't know what G's actual rules are on that. My arm is getting tired, sorry. In terms of like, do you have to finish the book in April? I feel like she said at one point that you don't have to finish the book in April. So I'm gonna be okay as long as I start it. I'm gonna say it still counts. I don't know if it does, but that's just for me. I'm gonna say that it counts because I have done so much reading this month and I feel like I'm not really making that much progress. I finished 4 books though, so I guess I can't say that I'm not making any progress. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. So I just wanted to check in, let you know how I'm doing, say hello, welcome to week 4 of the vlog. And that's really it for now. I have to go film a video, edit a video, make a thumbnail, upload a video. I want a video to go up tomorrow, but I don't actually have anything made. So I have to work on that today. I also have training at 11, and then I have a doctor's appointment at 2:30 this afternoon. So, I don't know if you watched like the previous vlog for Magical Readathon. I think I was talking about I had some stitches removed and it's not healing up right. So I have to go see the doctor, see what's going on with that. So yeah, that's it, I think. Oh, my husband finished painting the bedroom. So let me show you that. Hang on. Okay, so just so you know, it's going to be super echoey when I go in there, so I'm going to try to make this quick, and I will try to talk quietly so it's not, like, crazy. But, ready? It looks so good! So we did an accent wall. The bed is going to go on this wall, and then the rest of the walls are, like, this light gray color. And I love it. I think it turned out so well. I love this purple wall. I don't know how true the color is on camera, but it looks so good. I love it. I think these two colors look so good together. He does have to do like some touch-ups. He was a little upset that some of the color like bled onto the lighter color, but I'm not concerned about that. I'm just really excited. I think it looks so good. So yeah, the bed's gonna go here. We got like a gray accent rug to go under, and then I'm thinking either in this corner under the TV or like sort of on this kind of blank wall that we don't have anything to go on. I got a reading chair. So I'm gonna put like a little reading chair in one of those corners. So I'm so excited. I think it turned out so well. Let me get out of here. It's super echoey. So yeah, that is the bedroom update. I hope that wasn't too bad of audio because of all the echo, but yeah, I'm super excited about that. The bed is still in the middle of the living room, so hopefully we will finish up that whole project this week and get the bedroom put back together so that I have my living room back. But yeah, okay, that is officially it for this check-in. I'm gonna try to do some reading today, but like I said, I have a few things to do today, so we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck, because I have a lot of reading to do this week, and I'm a little scared. But we'll get there, we'll get there. So I'm proud of myself. I actually managed to film my video. I kind of put myself together a little bit for it. Not really, but I guess compared to the rest of this vlog, like how I've looked in the rest of this vlog I'm put together. So I am so proud of myself for getting that done. Now I have to edit it. It's just going to be a quick tag video. I figured I would kind of take the stress off a little bit, and I've been meaning to do this tag for ever. I was tagged to do it in September. I had to go back and double check how long ago it had been. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't have excuses. I haven't gotten around to it. And I felt really bad because I was tagged specifically to do it. And there's actually another video that I was tagged to do around the same time that I also need to do. So maybe that'll be next time I don't have a lot of time to film a video. Um, but it is about 9:15 now. I have training at 11, so the rest of my morning is probably just going to be editing this video and then getting ready for training. If I do have time left, like this video shouldn't take very long to edit, so that's nice. If I do have time left, I'll probably do some reading in The Spanish Love Deception. I would love it if I could just finish that book today and just start on my next book for the next 6 days and just try to like get them both done, but I know that's not going to happen. I can't read 200 pages in a day, especially when it's already 9:15 and I have a bunch of other stuff to do and I have not started reading yet. So, that would be the goal. I don't think it's going to happen, but, I'll just do my best. Workout complete. I did my workout. I managed to film, edit, and upload and schedule and everything a video for tomorrow. It's just a quick little tag video. And I did my workout, so now I have to shower, eat lunch, and then I have a doctor's appointment in a couple of hours that I have to get to. So, still haven't done any reading today, but other than that, it's been a very successful day off. Yeah. Let's get on with our day. So this is lunch with a protein shake. Okay, so I'm all showered. I made my lunch. I'm gonna have a salad with some nuts and a couple of clementines. And then I have to finish getting ready for my doctor's appointment and go. So, still no reading. Like, what is going on today? The same thing that goes on every day. I find other things to do and I procrastinate on reading and then I get mad at myself. But yeah, so I'm going to eat my lunch quick, watch some booktube, and then get to my doctor's appointment. On the way to my doctor's appointment, there will be some audiobook listening happening. So at least I'll get something done today in terms of reading. All right, I am back from my doctor's appointment and I am very excited to say nothing is wrong with my leg. I'm not dying. They're not going to have to cut it off. I don't have flesh-eating bacteria. What happened, I guess, is there were 2 layers of stitches. So I was like pulling out these little white things and I was like, I don't know what this is. It looks like a string, but the stitches were black. And I'm no doctor. I don't know anything about medical procedures. I did not watch while they were giving me the stitches. But apparently, yes, there were black stitches stitching like the top layer of skin together, but underneath there were like white dissolvable stitches stitching like the underneath layer together. So I didn't know there were 2 layers of stitches. And basically what happened is the stitches are supposed to dissolve in around 8 weeks, but my body, for whatever reason, decided to reject them. So it was like pushing them to the surface of the skin. So that's why it like healed and then it reopened and healed and reopened because my body was like, no, there's something that we're trying to get out of here. This is like a very layman type of explanation. He used a lot of doctor words that I don't remember, but that's basically what was happening. So he said now that like the big chunks of the stitches are out, he said there's 3 stitches in there, 2 of them came out, and the other one doesn't seem to be anywhere near the surface, so that one's probably just going to dissolve the way it was supposed to. But he said now that those are out, it should actually heal up finally. So that's good. That is a lot of stress off my plate because I was very worried about this for the past few days. If I had known there were 2 layers of stitches, like I probably wouldn't have freaked out as much because I would have known, okay, the white things are stitches, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. I'm just happy that that is done, solved, not an issue anymore. And on Another positive note, there was not nearly as much traffic as I expected to encounter, so now I have like an hour to read before my husband gets home. So me and this book are gonna go chill for a while. I did listen to Queen of the Tearling on my way there and back, so I got to like 19% of that audiobook. So not bad. I'll take it. And yeah, I just thought I'd let you know I'm not dying. Good morning. It is Thursday. It is April 27th, and I am falling behind on my Magical Readathon TBR. I still haven't finished the Spanish Love Deception. I haven't even touched Save the Date. I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I had a lot of stuff going on, so I'm about to ask my professors for an extension on a couple of my classes because there's no way I'm going to finish by the end of April. I don't know what the actual rules are, but G says in all of her videos, like, nobody is keeping score, like, everything is fine, whatever. So I might just give myself an extension, honestly. So we'll see what happens. I might just say if I start Save the Date by the end of the month, I will count it as read just because I did start it. That's not how school works, but that's how school works in my mind as a 30 something. It's been a long time since I was in school, so that might just be how I do it. But right now, I am not worrying about that. Right now, I am about to start questing. I have my alchemy classroom ASMR, whatever she has going on in the background. I am wearing the appropriate attire. I have this shirt that says, I'm not procrastinating, I'm doing side quests. Love it. And I'm not going to tell you what the quest is because she said she wants to keep it a secret. You don't have to do the quest line in April. And I'm moving on. So I'm not going to be specific, but I'm going to read some Lore Olympus. I went to the library yesterday. I got this out. It's been on my mind to read this recently, and they had it. So I picked it up, and it kind of works for this quest. So I'm going to read some of that today and see how far I get with that. Other than that, I just filmed my May TBR video and did some filming for another video that is going to be in the works. So yeah, the rest of my morning is just going to be reading until it's time for me to get ready for work. And yeah, that's the check-in for now. I'm getting a little desperate and defeated. Desperate and defeated? Yeah, that's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have the alchemy, thing on in the background, read some Lore Olympus, and try to feel better about the massive failure that is my magical readathon right now. Oh my god. Okay, so I have made an executive decision. I've come to a conclusion. I am now almost done with the first volume of Lore Olympus, and I think I'm gonna make a switch out because I was thinking about it, and there's literally no way that I'm gonna finish another book this month. So instead of using Save the Date for my elemental studies class where the prompt is flowers on the cover, I'm going to use this. And it's even like it's cheating, but like on the horse, there are little dots, which I'm almost positive are supposed to be flowers. And like the things floating around, I'm just going to say they're flower petals. I think they might be supposed to be like a mix of fire and flower petals, but after reading this, I see that like flowers are a big part of Persephone's personality in this book. So I'm going to count it. I'm going to say there's flowers on this cover. Barely. But I'm going to say there's flowers on this cover and just consider when I'm done with this book that my elemental studies class is complete. So then I just have to finish the Spanish Love Deception by the end of the month, and that is completely doable for me. So these guys on the horse's mane and tail and whatever are going to count for my flowers on the cover. Do you think that's cheating? I hope you're okay with that. I'm going to have to be okay with that, even though I do consider it a little bit of a cheat. But like, hey, it's just the art style, right? The reins, like my thing isn't gonna focus, but like the reins are covered in them, the mane, the tail, they're everywhere. So I'm gonna say that those are flowers, and that counts as my flowers on the cover, and then I will use a different book for the part of the quest that I'm on, which is fine. I actually got the second volume of this from the library as well, so maybe I'll read that for the quest. The art style isn't really like my favorite thing in the world. I think it's kind of ugly. No offense to the artist, but it's not my favorite art style in the world, but it's a graphic novel, so it's a quick read, and I'm enjoying it enough that it kind of makes up for the art not being my favorite. So I'm gonna finish this before I go to work today, and yeah, then I will be done with my elemental studies class. Yay! So I finished Lore Olympus Volume 1, and I finally logged the books that I had read for the Readathon. I hadn't been keeping up with it, so luckily I hadn't read that many books. I logged 4 books. And yeah, so then I have Lore Olympus Volume 2. I got both of them out of the library. I don't know if I said that earlier. So this is the one that I'm going to use for the side quest that I am on. Unfortunately, it is not going to be right now, so maybe I will not be wearing my I'm not procrastinating, I'm doing side quest shirt when I actually do that side quest. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm caught up with my logging, and I feel so much better now that I decided to sort of cheat and switch it out. The flowers on the cover, the Elemental Studies book. So now I really just have to finish the Spanish Love Deception, and I will be good to go. I guess that's it. I didn't really have much of a check in right now. I don't know. I thought I'd fill you in before I leave for the day. So that's it. Okay, so I'm actually running late to get into work, but I just wanted to mention this because I've been meaning to mention it for a while. So, Queen of the Tearling, I thought this book was just like a fantasy, but it's actually giving me dystopian vibes almost. Like, I thought it was just a regular fantasy in a made up world. Then they started talking about New London and New Europe, and then they were mentioning electricity and referring to the Brothers Grimm and the Bible and stuff. So, like, dystopian fantasy? Is that a thing? Is that what this is? It's not what I expected. Like I said, I expected like a made up fantasy world, and this apparently takes place in like a futuristic version of our world. So, but they're still like riding horses and having sword fights. I'm very confused. Um, but I am 239 pages in now, so I'm more than halfway. And I guess we'll just keep going with it and see where it ends up because I'm so confused. So I'm just going to wrap this vlog up now. It is actually May 2nd, and I am happy to say I passed all my classes. Except I didn't actually. I have one book, and we all know what it is already. I have 75 pages left of the Spanish Love Deception, so I just marked it as read. I listed it as read. I said I passed my class. I cheated a little bit on the final. It's fine. It is May 2nd, and I'm planning on finishing this up today, so close enough. If I'm only 2 days behind on passing in my final assignment, that's better than I did in school. So I'm gonna say that's fine. I read everything else for my Magical Readathon TBR. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to finish that book up today, and then that will be the official end of Magical Readathon. That was a quick month. I had a lot of fun reading and like challenging myself to read more. I did read stuff that was not on my Magical Readathon TBR. So although I haven't quite finished my actual Magical Readathon TBR, I still have 75 pages. I did a ton of reading in April, so I'm still really happy with how April went. I had to go grab my little reading tracker. I forgot to bring it. I have the next thing I'm going to talk about, but I didn't have this. So this is my final updated reading tracker. There are 2 books on here that I did not get to. One was Finley Donovan is Killing It for my regular TBR, and the other one was Save the Date, which was for Elemental Studies, but I changed that to Lore Olympus Volume 1. So I finished that. And then you can see right here, the Spanish Love Deception is so close to being finished, but I just have a few more pages. am still trucking away on the stand-in, which was also for my regular TBR. That is this one here. And I'm getting very close to the end of A Dance with Dragons. I think I am, well, I know I'm on page 618, so yeah. 64% through the audiobook, page 618 in the actual book. So that should be finished in the beginning of May. Hopefully, I am doing that as a carryover and the stand-in into May, as well as my regular May TBR, which, if you have not seen that video, I will link it up above. This side? That side? Wow, usually I'm so good at knowing which side. I think it's this side. Yeah, if you haven't seen my May TBR, I will link that up above. You can check it out if you want. I play a TBR game, so that's fun. And then what I'm really excited about, I just set it up this morning. This is the first time I've ever done like a physical reading tracker, like journal. But I got this journal on Amazon. It's super cute. And I set up a tracker for May. I don't have any like bullet journaling supplies or anything, so I literally used a pen and colored pencils. But this is for May. I have my TBR books. Oh, I shouldn't be showing you that. You don't know what those are yet. Well, you might. I guess, little spoiler alert, I have my TBR books for May that I got from my game. And then I have the colors for the weeks that I'm going to color in up there. And then I have also a pages per day tracker. So I think that's everything I have to talk about. I think Magical Readathon was super fun. I don't know how this vlog is going to be. I have taken so many clips. I hope I can edit it down to like a digestible length. I'll try. I'll try to cut out all my rambling. But yeah, so that's where we ended up. I read Remote Control for Restoration, Alloy of Law for Alchemy, The Spanish Love Deception I finished for Inscription, and Lore Olympus Volume 1 for Elemental Studies, and then I also read Stay Awake for the first quest line prompt. So, and the quest you can do whenever, she said. So there was no rush to finish that, but Stay Awake was on my actual April TBR anyway, so I wanted to get that read. But yeah, so that will do it for my Magical Readathon Spring Equinox, my first time officially participating in the Readathon. I really enjoyed it. I loved making my character. I loved, like, you know, picking out books for the prompts and getting all dressed up and everything. It was so much fun for me. So I will definitely be participating again in August for the autumn equinox, as well as, oh, I don't have it right now, but I have been not participating, but following along with the Adventures in Eldia, like the monthly prompts. She put out like a, what are those things called? Flowchart sort of thing, with prompts for each month that you can kind of choose your own adventure. So I have been following along with that as well. So I will continue following along with that until the autumn equinox, and we'll see where I'm at then. But yeah, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed following along with my Magical Readathon journey. And if you participated, I hope you had a great time too. Let me know if you did participate, or even if you didn't, what your favorite thing that you read in April was, and if you did participate, like what prompt it fulfilled, like what course it was for. And yeah, that's it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.